3 years ago, I set out to buy a modern diesel estate car for a new daily driver, and instead, I ended up with a 1996 Honda Civic, and I love it to bits. My name's Jason, welcome to the Driver's Den. If I'm honest, I'd always wanted a Honda Civic. Like many young enthusiasts, I was raised on Japanese car culture, and if you ask me, the Honda Civic might be as iconic, if not more so, than the likes of the Toyota Supra and the Nissan GT-R. The Civic dates back to the early 1970s, a time where the market for Japan's tiny K cars was beginning to plateau in sales, and a gap emerged for a new wave of economic compact cars. Over the years, the Civic went on to dominate the Japanese market and even conquered foreign lands, gaining huge popularity in the likes of North America. Today, the Civic sits comfortably in its 11th generation, with over 28 million units sold worldwide since its inception back in 1972. Now, the Civic we got behind us is part of the 6th generation, otherwise known as the EK or EJ shape, depending on where you are and what model you've got. The EK platform is particularly popular because it's when we first saw a Civic Type R production model, which, if you ask me, is one of the hottest hatches ever made and an absolute dream car. In terms of specification, the Civic EJ9 Type R is probably a smouldering hot Keira Knightley from Pirates of the Caribbean 2. This, on the other hand, is much closer to a barnacle-encrusted Davy Jones. And yet, it's going to go down as one of the greatest cars I've ever bought. Here's why. For starters, now you should probably expect this given the fact it's a 90s Honda, but it's been incredibly reliable. I've done around 50,000 miles or so in the last 3 years, and I've replaced a CV boot, I've changed the spark plugs, and I've replaced the oil twice, maybe 3 times? I don't know, somewhere around there. But the point is, in terms of mechanics, it's needed nothing. Now, those 50,000 miles, some of them are motorway, which is quite easy, but then for the rest of it, I don't really take it easy on this thing. I'm always doing stupid stuff with it, I'm always pinging it off the rev limiter, I rev the absolute nuts off it sometimes, I'm always doing a first to reverse wheel spin because deep down I'm a massive child. And it just carries on, it doesn't care, it just keeps going. Now, on the off chance something does go wrong, I'm really not worried. Because there were so many of these things made, there's a huge amount of used parts on the marketplace, and much like an MX-5 for example, they're all really cheap and quite plentiful. However, if you can't find what you want used, or you don't want to buy something used, you want something new and shiny, that's understandable. You can go on the internet and you've got a massive range of options. You can have anything from really low-end budget replacements to genuine OEM Honda stuff, which still blows my mind. And if you really want to spend some cash, there's loads of options for pricey OEM upgraded replacements, say from Australia or America. Another reason why I love this car to bits is it's so comfortable. These seats offer no support whatsoever, they're incredibly spongy, and it's perfect. It's like sitting on your nan's couch flying down the motorway. It's perfect for cruising along or just bombing along and commuting, which is what this car's for. I've also never found any issues with the space inside, so it blows my mind why all these modern cars have to be so bloated and large. 2 people can fit in here really comfortably. You can fit 4 in quite comfortably as well as all the room in the back for cargo. There's no issues with leg room. I can put my stuff in the back. It's fine. I don't need anything more. Whilst we're on the topic of the contrast between this and a modern car, I love how minimal this thing is. There's loads of room in the engine bay because there's very little in there. There's an engine, there's a gearbox. That's pretty much it. Same thing with the interior. I've got a steering wheel, I've got some sliders, I've got a cassette player, I've got a couple of vents. That's it. There's no massive, garish, huge iPad screen in the middle to get distracted by. There's no frilly gadgets that are going to snap off and break. It's perfect. I don't need anything more. Another factor that makes the Civic such a damn good car is it's pretty much like adult Lego. Sure, you might need a new ECU, loom, mounts, that sort of thing, but you can pretty much chuck any engine you want into these things, particularly from the Honda lineup. So I could chuck a different D series in, I could do a K swap, I could chuck a B series in, or if I was weird, I could even chuck a H series in without too much work. But say for example you're like me, you can't afford an engine swap no matter how much you pray at night, you still can't afford one. That's fine. Stick with whatever miserable specification you've got and you'll still find loads and loads of parts out there. For example, even with something as depressing as what I've got, I can still find turbo kits, I can still find exhausts, wheels, suspension arms, brake kits, loads of visual modifications, and pretty much anything I want, I can find. There's even companies out there that dedicate all of their time and resources to producing some of the most over-engineered, precise modifications and upgrades, all for a 30-year-old tin can. And that's pretty cool. Getting a bit more specific about my own example, I love how this thing looks for how little money I've spent on it. Sure, I did look out finding one in Tahitian green. It's quite a rare colour from what I understand. But then I found the cheapest set of coilovers money could buy, chucked them on. I found £40 worth of wheels from a client, got them powder coated, chucked them on. I spent a whopping £25 on wind deflectors, left the window tints, removed some of the previous owner's tacky, disgusting badge modifications, and I've left it. I've spent such little money on it, and despite it having dents, scrapes, rust, everything, it starts so many conversations and people genuinely compliment it on how it looks, which blows my mind. Another reason I love the Civic is because it's so fun to drive. And that doesn't make any sense with this model because mine's a non-VTEC, single cam with an automatic gearbox from the 90s, and that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And yet here I am with a massive smile on my face. I don't know whether it's because the Civic's such a light car, it's agile enough to throw it around corners. I don't know whether it's just the charm of an older car, but whatever it is, it's so fun to drive. I've never had a slow car be this fun to drive. For comparison, my R53 Mini Cooper S has about 3 times the power of this car. It's faster, it's supercharged, it pops and bangs, makes all the right noises, stops better, handles better, accelerates faster, and yet I'd rather drive this. Strange. I've actually saved the best bit till last because alongside the paintwork and the tape deck, this is my favourite feature on my 1996 Honda Civic. How cool is that? With the rather obvious exception of my S2000, which is my dream car, this Civic is the greatest car I own. It's so fun, it's so reliable, I've made loads of memories with it, and despite people trying to tell me to sell it, which is something that happens quite regularly from a few close friends, I won't. I love this thing and I will keep it until it falls to dust or until I bin it into a tree and turn it into a crumpled Coke can. In fact, I'm kind of more likely to sell my Mini just to chuck some money at this. And I'm still kind of on the fence about that because the Mini's just giving me grief. And I don't think I like it as much as I like the Japanese stuff. So should I sell it and get an engine for this or get some upgrades? What do I do? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you very much for watching, folks. It's massively appreciated. Now, if you enjoy this video and you want to see some more of my cars and you want to see more of the Civic, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. It's free, puts a massive smile on my face, and it does help open the door to more cool content. But there's no pressure. I'm not bothered. It's fine. Take it easy, folks. I'll see you in the next one. Fucking midgies, man. This is the pose I've chosen. This is my presenting pose. It's terrible, right? Oh god, there's so many bugs in this tree and they're all landing on me. I can't tell if I'm like covered in spiders or flies. Oh my god, there's loads of midges on me. What the hell? I feel like I've just been rolling around in AstroTurf. I don't know what that's about. You can go on the internet and then you can find loads and loads of options for different options. That makes loads of options for different options. Okay. That makes no sense and I'm getting bitten by midgies. Oh, I hate midgies. This fucking bonnet catch has gone up my arse. I shouldn't have sat in the middle. Or should I? Getting bitten by midgies and it's annoying me. This example we've got behind us. This example we've got behind us. That was not a good slap. Give it a bit more. Go on. This example we've got behind us. That was a good slap. I like that one. I ruined the take. Shit.